anyone know who Brian Williams is?
Yes.
All right. Who is Brian Williams for the people who don't know?
He's a newscaster.
He's a newscaster. But did you also know that Brian Williams is, but who would have known that he's quite the singer as well?
I said up hip hop, the hipping to the hip hop. You don't stop the rocket to the bang bang boogie. Say up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie, the beat. Now what you hear is not a test. I'm rapping to the beat. And me, the groove, and my friends are gonna try to groove your feet. See, I am Wonder Mike, and I'd like to say hello. But first, I gotta bang bang the boogie to the boogie. Say up jump the boogie to the bang bang boogie. Let's rock. You don't stop. Rock the rhythm that will make your body rock. Well, so far you've heard my voice, but I brought two friends along. And next on the mic is my man Hank. Come on, Hank, sing that song.
Check it out. And it's CASNBOV. And the rest is FLY. You see them go by the code of the doctor of the mixing these reasons of LEY. You see, I 6'1", and it turns up on a night dress to a teen. You see, I got more clothes than Muhammad Ali, and I dress so viciously. Everybody go, hotel, motel. What are you gonna do today?
Say what?
Because I'm a headline good and I got some spanking right off and the FOJ. Everybody go, hotel, motel, holiday in.
So there you have it. So a little taste of editing magic. And I did hear an interview about the editor who put that together, and apparently it takes hundreds of hours to put together that kind of video. But reason being is that he just can't pull any word that Brian Williams says. He has to get the right pitch and the right tone to make it sound like he's singing. So again, that is the magic of editing, the power of editing. All right. Apparently Brian Williams did not find that as amusing as some other people, but he took it to good heart. So now that we've gotten the power editing out of the way, let's quickly go over what we're going to cover. So obviously we're going to do my shameless plug, which I did on Tuesday. I also got not one, but two student videos that I'd like to show and get your feedback on it. We'll do a quick review of lesson 1 and also touch on a few things to make your photo slideshow look a little bit more crisp and clean. And then we'll get into creating a montage. Finally, your questions. Again, shameless plug. As Jennifer hinted, and as I said on Tuesday, once we hit 100 subscribers, we can do some magical things with YouTube. One of the magical things is getting rid of all these letters at the end of channel and actually put a unique name to describe our channel. So please subscribe, get your friends to subscribe. We're at 43 now, which is great. So approaching the halfway point, and the more the merrier. And if you have any ideas on what kind of videos you would like to see on our channel, let us know. It does say Diocese of Venice Catholic Schools, but we'll be putting religious education and parish-oriented videos there as too. Okay. All right, student videos. Let's see. So I got one from James, and I got one from Delphia. Thank you very much to both of you for sending your links. And we will start with James. All I want you to do is take a quick look at it. And if you have any feedback at the end of this video, we will feel free to share. So here it goes. Seasons by James Less. Very good, James. And I'm sorry, James, you sent me an updated link, and this was the first link you sent me. So James actually made some edits to it. James, do you want to go ahead and email me that link again, or in the chat box, send me your link to the updated video? And then I'll show Delphia's while you put that link up.
Okay, sure.
All right, so hold off on your feedback because what James did, he made a couple of changes, and I want people to review that version rather than this first version here. But that was James' first version. I thought he did a great job. Excellent job. Okay, going back. So while we wait for James to send the link, and again, James, just send it in the chat box. Let's go ahead and look at Delphia's at Mount Tabor. Is that how you pronounce it? Delphia?
Yes, correct.
All right. Where is Mount Tabor?
Israel?
In Israel. Wow, I would love to go there. My parents went there. It's one of my regrets in life. They invited me to go, and I made up some excuses about work. And when they came back and showed the photos and talked about their experiences, I thought I messed up. I definitely have to go out there. All right, let's go ahead and show Mount Tabor by Delphia Sullivan. Well done. Good job. All right. Go ahead. Keep that one.
John, a question on the videos. When you use the free account, is there always a watermark on the videos?
Yes, if you use the free account, there is always a watermark. That's why I keep saying I highly recommend at least getting the base one, which is the $60 a year, so you can get rid of the watermark and have a lot more options available, and also export your videos in HD rather than standard definition. All right, thank you very much. Oh, you just emailed me the link. I'll go ahead and just pull that up. Thank you, James. So what James did was I made a few suggestions on his video, and he incorporated those. So here is James's second version, and we'll take a look at this. All right, so feedback. Let's start with James's video. Who would like to talk about it? Anything that you saw? Start off, give me one thing you liked and one thing maybe James can improve upon on his next video.
I like the transitions from each season. I mean, the fade.
Yes, very good. I too like it. I thought the fade is a great transition for the kind of video that we have here, and it's just long enough where people who are watching it understand, oh, we're changing the seasons. It's not quick snaps. So very good. Anyone else?
It kind of reminds me of like time-lapse photography.
Very good. Yes, it also reminded me of that too. Anyone else? One more? Well, go ahead.
Could it be sound if there was sound added, or can you do that?
Well, when you say sound, are you talking about like snow or rain or crunching leaves?
Or birds?
Or birds? Yes, you can do that. With WeVideo, you can have multiple audio tracks, so you can have music, and then around the music, you can incorporate sound effects like birds chirping for the spring, snow in the winter, or leaves falling in the fall. Yes, you can do that. And that is something I could probably show you in a future lesson using multiple audio tracks. For the sake of time and simplicity, I'm keeping at least these first few lessons with only one audio track until people feel more comfortable with the interface. Very good, well done. All right, how about Delphi's video? Anyone want to comment on that? On Mount Tabor.
I've been there, I love it.
Yeah, that I was impressed with the photos. Yeah,
Really?
what about, go ahead.
I liked how she did the movement of the photo where it felt like you were walking like down the path through the trees. Like I thought that transition. I don't know if there's a certain term, like it's Ken Burns on iMovie, but I don't know what term they use for WeVideo, but I like that effect. That was very nice.
Yeah. Some videos, some software just call it zoom in, zoom out. But Ken Burns, who is a famous documentary filmmaker, he has perfected the art of zooming in and zooming out of a photo, so much so that many people in industry just call it the Ken Burns effect. So you are correct, Christina. You can call that the Ken Burns effect for bonus points on Jeopardy. All right. Okay. Now, Kim Adamson mentioned about DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve is a free editing program. I will go ahead and type that in our in there. So if budget is an issue, I do recommend DaVinci Resolve. However, and this is a big however, DaVinci Resolve is high-end, complex level editing. I'm not saying that you won't know how to use it, but when you see it, the interface, it is a little daunting. All right, I used DaVinci, and even for me, it took me about an hour or so to really get an idea of where everything was. The second thing I warn about DaVinci, that since you are downloading software, you're at the mercy of your computer and its processing power. So you might have some issues trying to get the software to work or get your videos to run smoothly, things of that nature. But other than those two issues, if once you feel comfortable with a more beginner level program like WeVideo, then yes, I would highly recommend explore other software like DaVinci. And thank you so much. So DaVinci Resolve, check it out. It is free. They do have a true, honest to goodness free version that has pretty much all the features of the pro version, and have at it. So if you're getting the hang of this and you feel like WeVideo is too easy for you, definitely go that way. Thank you. All right, going back to Delphi's video, anything else about her video, about the transitions, the music, the pictures? Anyone else? All right. Well, thank you very much for sharing. Let's give our two students a hand. Congrats and applause. Well done. All right. It's not easy it's not easy to edit a video, and it's also not easy to put it up and let people give you reviews and critiques, and that's very important. And that goes hand in hand with one of the lessons I gave on Tuesday, which is like your videos, but
Don't love them.
Don't love your videos, because once you love them, it's very difficult to make any changes to them. Well done. All right. Okay, so now let's go ahead and move on. Oh, and other people have been chatting in. Great job, great work, everyone. Let's go back to our presentation here. And don't worry, this presentation is a lot shorter than Tuesday. We're going to get into WeVideo very shortly. So a quick review on editing terminology. Does everyone understand what these are? Timeline, import, export, cut, fade, and crossfade. Everyone good with those? Okay. Does anyone ever, I'm sorry, go ahead. I heard thought I heard someone. No? Okay.
I have a question. What's the difference between fade and crossfade?
Okay. A fade is when you are taking the picture or the music or the sound effect and you're going from full 100% all the way down to 0 to where it disappears into black, into white. That's a fade. Like it just goes away. A crossfade is like what you did in James's video and Delphi, where you're fading one picture out at the same time another one is coming in that takes its place. So that's a crossfade.
Oh, okay.
Right. Good question. Does anyone know why we still call a cut a cut? Does anyone, why do we say that still?
Splicing it?
Exactly. How were movies edited up until the advent of the computer?
They actually cut them and put it back together.
Exactly. They actually cut and actually put them back together. And here's an interesting and in some ways sad fact that especially during the silent film era, a vast majority, well, almost everybody who directed a film was male or female. What do you think? Director. Male. Now, who were editors of the film during the silent era, male or female?
Probably females. We got them.
Yeah, almost every editor in the silent film era was female. It was looked down upon for a man to be an editor. That was considered women's work, which is a shame. I'm very happy we're out of that phase, because as you can see, editing is just as important as directing in many ways. Good work, right? I'm glad people understand these terms. We'll be talking about more terms. Another term I want you to be knowing is trim. When I say trim, you're actually shrinking your clip down. You're actually bringing it down to the point that you want. All right, so let's do a quick review from lesson 1, because I think we have a couple people here that weren't here before. So tell me, what is the most important aspect of editing?
Good film to start with.
Very good. Have good footage to start with. All right, good. What are the 5 video production lessons that I learned the hard way, but you don't have to? Someone give me one. It doesn't have to be in order. Oh, Bambi, I think you said something. Oh, you're on mute.
Plan.
Plan.
Have a plan, even if it's a bad one. Very good. That's one. Anyone else?
Never say we'll fix it post.
You never say we'll fix it in post. Never say that. Good.
Like but don't love.
Like your videos, but don't love your videos. 2 more.
Back up your footage.
That was under have a plan, I believe.
Okay.
But what's something I've been making mistakes during this webinar because I'm clicking so many things. What has happened already twice on my side?
Test your equipment.
Test your equipment. Yes, that actually falls in a row. But what's really important that I've been missing on some of these videos I'm trying to show you?
Audio.
Audio, right. Sound is what? What is sound?
Important as sight.
Exactly. Sound is just important as sight. And the last one, B, it's 3 B's.
Brief.
Oh, be brief,
Brilliant.
be brilliant.
And be gone.
Be gone. Right. Make your videos as long as it has to be and no longer. All right. How many people, with just a quick show of hands, how many people have seen a movie, you loved it, but it was just 10, 15 minutes too long? Yeah. It happens. It happens. There's a few movies I feel I would have loved it if they just cut it a little early. Lord of the Rings. I'm sorry. Okay, so here we go. And going back here, what makes WeVideo different from other video editing programs? What's the one key feature that WeVideo has and why I'm kind of focusing on it?
It's basically saved to the cloud, so you're not having to rely on one device.
Exactly. Right. You can use any computer you want. You don't have to worry about hunting down the hard drive. And we're going to get into number 4. How do you better organize the footage you import into WeVideo? What can you create inside WeVideo to make your footage better? I mean, to easily find it.
Yeah, this is Jim.
You can create a, starts with an F.
Folder.
Folder, very good. Yes, you create folders and also rename your files, because if you just take it directly from your camera, it's going to have a bunch of numbers and letters on it. Change the names. Take the time to do that. That way you know what it is without having to continuously watch it. And finally, little bonus question. How many cuts are in a feature film, roughly?
1,300 more.
1,300. How many in a blockbuster?
Oh.
3,000.
Very good. 3,000, approximately 3,000.
Probably millions.
Now let's
Thousands.
If a feature, most feature films are not 2 hours, but if you have a movie that's 2 hours long and has 1,300 cuts, how many cuts is that per minute? Per minute. Someone pull out the calculator. 1,300 cuts, 2 hour movie.
More than 110 or 105.
10. So approximately 10 cuts per minute in a 2 hour film if it follows the 1,300 guideline, which is extremely important in understanding what it takes to edit a video. So even if your video is only 1 minute long, how many cuts do you think you'll have if you're following this equation?
At least 10.
10, exactly. So at 10 cuts in 1 minute, how long is each shot, roughly? If I have a 1 minute video and it cuts 10 times, how long is each little clip in those 10 clips? How many seconds?
6 seconds.
6 seconds, that's right. And believe it or not, that is about the attention span of your audience. 5 to 7 seconds on a particular shot, and then you're going to start losing them. Now, of course, there are many exceptions in film world, but for the most part, that's the reason why there are so many cuts in the movie, to keep your attention, because you're going to start losing it. Even if it's some awesome action sequence, if it's not cut right, if you're on it too long, then people are going to notice. So keep that in mind. 5 to 7 seconds is about as how long you want on any particular shot. All right, any questions before we dive into WeVideo itself? No? Okay, if you do, send me a chat. I'm loving all the interaction I'm getting. I'm asking about different programs. This is great. This is the kind of stuff I want. All right, I'm going to share my screen again, and we're going to go ahead and get out of Canva. Just FYI that I used Canva to create this presentation. And let's go ahead and get into WeVideo. That's not WeVideo. One moment, I can do a quick. Where'd you go? Did I close WeVideo in my rush? I probably did. It's okay.
Could we go back to a question on the
Sure.
YouTube sign up? There's so many YouTubes. How do we look for the one you want us to subscribe to?
Oh, if you type in Diocese of Venice Catholic Schools,
Okay.
and then put it there, and I'll share the link again. It was on that presentation.
But
I may have closed it, but thank you. Actually, Jennifer, you're still there. If you can put the link to the Diocese of Venice Catholic Schools YouTube channel and Facebook page, if you don't mind, just post it on there. Thank you, Jennifer. All right, so I jumped a little bit. I jumped the gun just a little bit on Tuesday. When you sign in a WeVideo, this is what you'll see first, right? So you'll see your recent edits, the projects that you've been working on, and you also have a bunch of templates that you can choose from as well. And you can even, if you have a paid version, you can record webinars, you can do podcasts, and some other things. But this is typically what you'll see. Let's go to, and this is another reason why it's important. See how I said my video? That's not a great name for a video. So make sure you name it, right? Make sure you name it something that makes sense, all right? Lesson 2. So let's quickly go back to lesson 1. I'm gonna click edit. And lesson 1 was, we were playing around with photos of different paintings of Jesus and playing around with titles. There's a few things I want to show you to help you with the slideshow. And actually, Delphi, is it Delphi or Delphi? Am I pronouncing that right?
Delphia, just like Philadelphia.
Okay, so Delphia did some additional things that I did not go over in the previous lesson, which I'm very happy to do. Yes, let's talk about a little bit about movement, all right? One of the key features about video is people want to see motion. Now, it's nice to see different pictures flash like you see here, but it probably would be a little bit more interesting if the picture was moving at least a little bit. And this is how you can do that in WeVideo. So if you left click on the clip that you want to do, then you'll see a little icon called FX. FX. Click on FX, right? And you can change a few things in the effects to give it a different look. All right, so like, for example, let's say I wanted a vignette on it. All right, so you click on that, hit apply. Now I have a little vignette on the photo. Kind of hard to see with this one. That's what you can do with the FX. If you click on the clip editor, this little pencil, click on that. This is where you can make some additional changes. All right, we'll start with the simple one. Let's say the picture was just way too small. You wanted to increase the size. Oh, this is a caption. I'm sorry. This is the caption. My fault. You can change the captions. So, for example, let's say you wanted just to type in something, he's drawing of Jesus. I'm just going to type. Or better yet, if you had some type of Bible verse that you wanted to go with each picture, you can do that. So that you can add actual captions to go along with your photo. All right, another thing that you can do, if you click here where it says transform, this is where you can scale up your photo or scale it way down, depending on what size you want. WeVideo does a pretty good job at adjusting it to fit the screen nicely. But again, this is a good place for you where you can make some changes. You can also rotate the photo. If you wanted Jesus doing a headstand, you can do that. You can flip the photo if you decide that you want Jesus to face one way or the next, or face him up and down. So let's put him back up. All right. And then you can even fit the video too. So you can just tell WeVideo, hey, I want it to fit vertically, or I want it to fit horizontally. And then, of course, you can use the scale to do that. Right.
My eyes have seen the glory of God.
I like that. Here, my eyes have seen the glory of God. I'm going to put that. Eyes have seen.
My eyes.
My eyes. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about the song.
Well, I was thinking Jesus's eyes since it.
I've seen it. All right. All right. Good. See, I like that. And justice eyes too. Play around with too much today.
Would that fit on the picture, or is it going to look like it looks right now?
It's good. This is what it's going to look like right now. You'll have to kind of play with it to get it the way you want. You can even you can auto shrink the text if you want to do that. You can even change the font of where it is. Like you can center it if you want. But again, that's something you'll have to play with a little bit more, and I'll get into later. Another thing that you can do is the animation. So this is the Ken Burns effect. Ken Burns effect. So take notes if you need to. Take a look. This is how you get your picture to move from beginning to end. So under animation, this is the little icon right here. You click on the start. What start means is WeVideo is asking you, how do you want this picture to look as soon as it appears on the screen? And let's say I wanted to be kind of small, and I bring it down to about 78%. If you want to be more precise, you can actually just type in the number. So 0.75 would be 75% the size of the photo. All right, and then at the end, at the very last moment we see this photo, let's say I wanted to have it at 100%, 1. Right. So at the beginning of this video, it will be at 75% size. At the end, it will be bigger, and that will give you that Ken Burns zoom in effect. So let's go ahead and save our changes and see how that looks. So we'll start from this first picture. And there you go. See, our titles pop up. Jesus, 75%, and there we go. So any questions on that? On how we got to where we are? Right. Okay, very good. Now, another thing that you can do, and let's go back to let's continue with this picture of Jesus. If you click on the pencil icon again, you can actually even change the color of the picture, much like you can do in Photoshop or any other photo editing software. You can change the brightness to it. You can change the contrast, the saturation. You can do all of that. And you can do that with video clips as well. So if your videos or photos are a little too dark, a little too bright, this is where you can make some adjustments to it. But again, as I said, never say what?
Love it.
No, we'll never love it, but never say we will
edit in the post.
Exactly. Never say we'll fix it in post. So it is much better to make sure your video and photos look the way you want it to look prior to importing. Now, of course, you can be artistic, and let's say I just want to have a very red or a very warm or a very cool picture. Then yes, then you would have to manipulate. But again, get your pictures and videos to look good before you pop them in. All right, and then of course there's color keying where you can actually remove a color from a picture, but that's for another lesson. Okay. So any questions on how you can edit individual clips or photos in this case?
When you're doing all this, you can do all this before you post it. Is that what you're saying? So even you can change the color, you can change the transitions. We haven't got to audio or backgrounds yet.
No, we have not, and that is our next step. So let's go ahead and talk about background. You can put video and clips on top of one another if you want to show multiple things at once. And let's do an example where we would just want to have a background. We color black's kind of boring, right? Does everyone agree? A black background can for this particular video? All right. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not offending anyone saying, oh no, I like this. I want this color. What WeVideo has is a plethora of backgrounds to choose from. You'll have more if you have the paid version. But for example, let's say I like this yellow aurora behind this picture of Jesus. All you have to do is, well, there's actually a couple of things you'll have to do because they arrange it. So let me tell you a common mistake that absolute beginners will make. They'll go, oh, look at this cool background, and they'll put it right here. Well, actually, they'll make two mistakes. Let me show you mistake number one. All right. So they'll go, look at this cool background. Let me put it right over Jesus. What do you think just happened?
Yeah.
Can you see the picture of Jesus anymore?
No.
No. All right. What you've told WeVideo is that this picture of the aurora is the foreground image. That this is the primary picture that you want your audience to see, and that now the picture of Jesus in the background. You don't see Jesus at all because this video, this aurora, encompasses the entire screen. So what do you think you need to do to make Jesus in the foreground?
Start it later.
Change the order. Change the order.
Change the order, exactly. And that's the magic of using a timeline. So just remember, any video that is above, that if it's closer to the top, it has priority, right? So think of it like layers of a sandwich, right? So what you see up top is going to be what people primarily see. So if you want to fix it and get something else in the background, you just have to do a switcheroo. So in this case, let's just take Jesus, move him up here. You move the background image here. Sorry, okay, and bring Jesus back down here. Okay, so now let's watch it. So we go Jesus 1, and there you go. Now we have Jesus in the foreground. Yep, but now the words are falling behind, which we need to fix as well. So what I recommend, if you click on the pencil again, let's see what happens. I think because of the way things are set up, I'll probably have to play around with that. What I'm going to do for now is, let's see, my eyes. Oh, now there we go. I just made a lower third, but I need to figure out, I'll have to figure that out later. That shouldn't have done that. That should have gone with the picture. Let me save changes. Let me change one thing to it. Let me see if I did this. That fixes it. No. I'm not sure why it's doing that. All right, my apologies. I'll have to figure out why WeVideo does that. But is everyone with me so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're all learning.
All right. Now, if you remember, the cut to this background was still a little abrupt. Well, why do you think this still looks abrupt?
It's too abrupt, yeah.
Yeah, because the picture of Jesus just pops up like that. So what you need to do is what? What do we need to click on? Here's your hint.
Ken Burns or somebody.
Right. Go to transitions, which is up here, and you're going to have a transition to this picture of Jesus. Right now, we only have a transition, which is a crossfade from the first picture of Jesus to the aurora background video. But now you need to do another crossfade so it links up with this picture here. So now let's take a look at it. So crossfade the background, and now voila, crossfade into Jesus. And
and then the words came up.
Yeah, the words came out. I don't know why. Because when I was doing the play testing, that's what should have happened. So I'm very curious as to why that happened. It may be an issue where, since we are working in the cloud, it takes a little while for WeVideo to catch up. But hey, I will take it. All right. So any questions so far?
That's interesting.
Okay. Now, what do you think we need at the end of this little part here? What happens? Is that a pretty good transition?
No.
So this is just my preference. I would do maybe one more crossfade at the end.
Right.
And that way Jesus kind of fades out and goes to that one. But again, that's preference. If you like it the other way, you can always hit undo, which is this arrow over here, and you're back to where you are.
What if you just took out those curtains?
Right. Yeah, I think we were playing around with the transition itself. So let's say you don't like the curtain. So if you click on transition, you can actually, instead of deleting transition, you can just change it. So let's say I just don't want another crossfade. I want to be a little bit different. Let's say a cross blur. Right? Let's see what a cross blur looks like. Does that look a little better?
Yeah.
All right. And you want to, how about a different transition? You want to try a different transition? Yeah, let me pick someone. Christina, pick a transition from this list here that we haven't used before. So not crossfade, not cross blur, and not a curtain.
Oh, let's see here. I think I'll go with a mosaic.
A mosaic. All right, let's try mosaic. Woo.
Oh.
Ooh, look at that. Yeah, so have fun. Have fun with these transitions and see what works. Again, this is just a general rule. Stick with your crossfades, your cross zooms, and your blurs. For your audience, that's what they typically want to see. Now, if you're making some cool video for the younger kids, yeah, have fun. Go have a blast of the transitions. But even when you watch major feature films, almost always they're using just standard cuts. Cut. Right? Maybe the occasional fade. But that's about it. All right? All right. And then lastly, I know we went over this a little before. What does this little, excuse me, what does this need? We got our titles, we got our pictures. What are we missing?
Audio.
Audio, very good. So this is why it's so important to have your media in order. So if you go to my media, you'll see that I've already created folders and I'm labeling them as it works for me. So lesson 2 music, lesson 2 video clips, lesson 1 music, lesson 1 photos. To create a folder, just right click, hit new folder, and then put the name. All right, let's say I'm getting ready for lesson 3. This is lesson 3, and I'm going to put all video clips associated with lesson 3. So that's how you create a folder. All right, James, does that answer your question? Because I remember you asking that.
Yeah.
Right. And then when you double click on that folder, this is where you import. So you right click, you click on import here, and then this is where you would browse to select and you would choose where you want to what you want to upload. Okay. Okay. Oh, looks like I got the chat. Let's see. What is the name of the program to get music for slides? Oh, are you talking about license-free music, Claudia? Yes, okay. Evanto. Evanto is an excellent library source to get music. There is a fee, but the good part is the fee's not, I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. It's not that bad. Not Devanto, it's, here, it should be Envato. Or, I'm sorry, Envato. Envato, my fault. E-N-V-A-T-O. Type that in. So go to envato.com and then search for elements, Envato elements, and that's where you'll find tens of thousands of stock footage, stock photos, music, and again, it's license free, so you're not going to have any copyright issues by using that. Good question.
Yeah, John, I noticed on the WeVideo on the different packages, they also offer a lot of video clips, photos, and music. And I mean, if you have to keep buying from all these different things, it kind of adds up. Would the WeVideo be a good enough resources there?
Yes, depending if you get the paid version, then yes, it does have a pretty good library of what to choose from. Here, for example, here's audio. So they have free music. There's premium music, and they even have it by theme. So yes, so if things are getting a little expensive, I completely understand that you don't have to use Envato. WeVideo does have templates to choose from as well. I'm only pushing Envato just a little bit because that's what they focus on. And when I tell you they have tens of thousands of X, they literally have tens of thousands of X. But that's a good question. So let's, what kind of music do we want here since we're in the stock music here? You want a happy Monday? Party drive? Tell me. Let's go to a theme. You want cheerful, energetic? Feel good, sentimental. What do we want?
For this music, I don't think he's cheerful getting his crown on his thorns.
All right. So do you want, how about sentimental, perhaps?
Sentimental or soft inspiration. Somebody else.
Let's see. What do we have here? All right. Let me go to sentimental. I don't know this music off the top of my head, so it might sound a little silly. But let's do an emotional. So one thing you can do is before you drag the music onto the timeline, you can preview it first. So let's see what inspired string sounds like. Yes, no, maybe?
I don't like it. So close to achievement. What's that?
All right. How about this one? Is that yes, no, maybe?
It's nice.
What's that?
I thought that was nice.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty nice too. But just in case, let's listen to "So Close to Achievement." That's a little bit too happy. All right.
I like emotional.
Yeah. So let's do the emotional, and let's take it and let's drag it down here to the beginning, and let's see what it kind of sounds like. Now, when I drag it, notice how I'm putting it under audio 1.
Yeah.
Try and drag it to video. You're going to get a red border. That means, hey, this is sound, not video. Put it down here where there's a green border. All right. And let's go ahead and let's do it. Remember, I'm hitting the space bar to play and pause. Yeah, I think that goes pretty well. Now, quick review. We have way too much music. What do we do? Can someone guide me? What do I do next to get this music to where I want it to truly end it?
Trim the music.
Trim the music.
Slide it over.
Cut.
So what you do is you drag the timeline, and let's say I want the music to end at the last as the picture fades out. Click on the scissors, and now I've made 2 different clips, and everything after you can go ahead and click on the trash. So trash. All right. And now what do we do? Because right now it sounds like this. What's wrong with that?
Fade.
Fade it out.
I need to fade it out. How do I fade this thing out? Can someone guide me?
Cut it.
Right. So come back to, and this is your preference. Let's say I wanted to start the fade as the picture was fading. So I would drag it about right here, right before the transition, and then I hit the cut. Very good. And now what do I do?
Then drag the last white circle down.
Very good. Drag the last white circle down, and now let's listen to it. Very good. Does that sound better?
I found that there's a noticeable little gap between the 2 pieces of music. Is there a way of clearing that up?
You see a noticeable gap. Where do you see this gap?
Where you've cut the music.
Yeah, there is. Let me. So what you can do is, because this is a real gap, this is not. So if you bump your clip right next to it, it won't be a real gap. Oh, I'm sorry. So go right here. If you'll see, it's not really a gap. It's WeVideo telling you you've cut this into 2 different clips. So this is where the first clip ends, and this is where the next one starts. Right. Now, I do hear a click sound. So what you might have to do is make minor adjustments, like extend one clip, or maybe extend this clip more. Oh, I definitely made a gap there. So this brings it up. Right. So that is a good question. Sometimes when you do a cut clip, you're going to have a little clicking sound, and that's really just your cue to try and make adjustments to your fade. So in this case, what I would do, I would actually drag my timeline to the beginning of this picture of Jesus, hit the cut, and then let the fade come down a little longer, so it's not so abrupt. So it's less than that. So I heard it's still a little bit of a click, but it's not too bad. All right. Okay, looks like Bambi had to bow out. So Bambi, I hope you have a great 4th of July. I know I'm running a little bit ahead of schedule, and that's my fault for getting all my links messed up. But I do want to go ahead and just give you a brief overview of actual montages, where now let's get away from photos and let's get into video. So let's go on to lesson 2. And this is actually kind of short. All right, so can everyone hang for another 10 minutes? Yes, no, maybe?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I have here the official commercial for the Diocese of Venice Catholic Schools. All right, I'm only going to show you the first few seconds. So we have this. Look, so make sure you click on the clip, and let's listen just to the first few seconds.
St. John Paul II once said, "Life with Christ is a wonderful adventure." In the Catholic schools of the Diocese of Venice, that adventure begins when a child sets foot on campus. Teachers embrace.
All right. This is a completed video. The reason why I chose a completed video because it's easier to make montages if you already have pre-edited clips. I know you won't always have that convenience, but for the sake of learning the tools, this is a good way to do it. All right. So here's your assignment. All right, our assignment. Let's say someone gave you this commercial and said, hey, I want you to remove the music and I don't want to see the narrator. I only want to see pictures of people doing things. All right, I'm going to choose one person so we don't have multiple people talking. Who wants to be my volunteer to guide me through this exercise? Anyone? No one? Okay. All right, that's okay. No problem. I just wanted to give people the option if they want to guide me through it.
I'll volunteer, John. What do you need done?
All right. So this is what your boss said. Hey, I got this cool commercial from the Diocese of Venice Catholic Schools, but I don't want to see the narrator, and I want to get rid of the music and choose a different music. How do we do that?
First, just click on the music and delete it.
Very good. Now, typically that is the right answer. In this case, this video was already edited with music. So if I hit delete,
You're going to delete everything.
I'm going to delete everything. Now, whoops, oh no, what do? Hit undo, all right?
Is there an option when you click it to mute it or to lower the volume?
Exactly, yes, you have that option. So if you right click and you go to the pencil and you click on the audio here, you can bring the audio all the way down to 0.
Can't you mute it or no?
Or you can hit mute. That's the other option too. So either drag it all the way to 0 or hit mute. That's you can do that as well. Right. Oops. Good catch. All right. So now music's gone. Outstanding. Okay. Now, how do we get rid of the narrator? What do we have to start doing?
Just slide up on the timeline to where she starts, and then hit the cut.
Yep, hit the cut. Okay, and then what do I do?
Go to where you want it to end.
And
hit cut again.
Hit cut again. Very good. All right. So we'll cut her here. So we get cut, and then cut again. All right, and then what's the last thing you have to do?
Delete that section that you cut
that
out.
section, right? And let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit on the timeline to make it easier. So remember, over here, you can zoom in and zoom out if you really are doing very finicky things, which we are doing right now. All right. So let's see if I cut it. Did I? Hold on. So space, nope, didn't cut it. Okay. So do that, hit delete. But now what's the issue? What issue do we have here?
You have to slide them together.
Exactly, right? So all you have to do is take the clip and then slide them together. Very good. All right. So she is, I actually put a little bit too much. You can always do a little bit of trimming too to get rid of certain people. So let's see what it looks like now.
John, I have a question. Like you have this video where you have footage with the sound already in there. So say you're filming footage and you always get background sound with copyrighted music most of the time if you're out and about. is there a way to take out just the music and leave all the other sound, like the people talking and that and whatnot?
Not using WeVideo. You would have to use more advanced programs to pull dialogue and music. There is a way, but not WeVideo. You would need Adobe Premiere or DaVinci to do that.
Okay.
So you can't mute your
Well,
footage?
No, you can mute your footage. What the question is, let's say I wanted to keep the dialogue but not the music. I wouldn't be able to do that during using WeVideo because the music and the dialogue are mixed together already because this is a pre-edited clip. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
All right. Now, if you did this, like let's say you were shooting your own video, let's say you had some children playing in a playground, and then you wanted to put some music on it, using WeVideo, your music audio track would be separate from the actual sound that you picked up while you were shooting the video. Then yes, you can do that. But something that's already edited, like if you were pulling a clip from YouTube or taking something, other video that was already edited, no, either you mute it, you slide it down, or you get rid of it entirely. All right. So, any other questions?
How's come the preview doesn't match up with where the timeline tool is?
That is a WeVideo issue. I noticed that as well. I think it's just trying to play catch up as you're zooming in and zooming out, because I know it's still showing the narrator when it really shouldn't. It's trying to show you like as much as it can and what was there to begin with.
Yeah.
So that's why having this preview video is still very important. All right. I want to show you one more thing because everyone's familiar with how to put down music, correct? No questions on how to put down music in the timeline?
Right.
No, okay. All right, let's say your boss said, hey, you know what? I found this other cool video and I want you to include one clip from it. Well, let's go to St. Anne. And let's say your boss said, I really want, instead of showing the picture of St. John Newman in the beginning, I really want to have the St. Anne logo come up rather than St. John Newman. So the way you do that is you're going to put video on top of another video. You would take the St. Anne video, and would you put it over this one? Yes or no?
No.
No. You would put it where?
On top.
On top, exactly. And this is where you need to line up. Now, all you want is the St. Anne logo. You don't want the rest of this stuff. So where should I cut this? If I just want the St. Anne logo, probably about right here. Right? So I hit cut, and then what do I do with the rest of this St. Anne video?
Delete it.
Delete it. All right? So you can either hit the delete button or hit the little trash can. To you. All right? Now this is just a rough cut, but let's see what it looks like. Let's see if we got to the ballpark. All right?
My name's...
Now, what's our issue that we have already?
We got music.
Yeah, we got music. We want to get rid of that music. So how do I get rid of the music from the St. Anne clip?
Mute it.
Mute it. So yeah, again, hit the pencil, hit the mute, or bring it all the way down. It's up to you. Hit save changes. Now let's watch. All right. No music, and we have St. Anne instead of St. John Newman. And there we go. Then it cuts right to what you see here. And I still have a little bit of the narrator because I was rushing a little bit. But there you have it. So that is the basics of editing a montage. So what you're going to do in WeVideo is have your clips, name them in a way that makes sense, and be prepared to put video over other video. Now, let's say you have lots of clips and you need more than 2 video layers, not a problem. You can hit the 3 dotted lines. I'm sorry, not the 3 dotted lines. That's lock and cap. If you hit the plus sign, you can add a new video or a new audio track. So one more time, hit the plus sign. Let's say I needed a 3rd video track, hit add track, and there you go. Here's a 3rd one. And then that way you can easily see the different clips that you're manipulating. Okay. So any questions? I know we went over a lot, so I'm here for you. Any questions? Does everything up until this point make sense?
I don't see in video 1 this picture that you're showing. What happened? How come it's still there, but it's not in the picture?
Okay. Remember, video 2 has priority over video 1. Remember the layer?
That's fine.
Right. So what is your question then? I'm sorry, maybe I'm just not understanding.
Where the guy was, keep going, right here, no, right there. Where's that in the?
Oh, that was from the original commercial. So this is I only showed the logo of the St. Anne video. And then right here is when we stop showing the St. Anne video and we go back to the Diocese of Venice commercial. All this was pre-edited. That's why you're seeing those transitions.
Oh, I didn't see you. I thought you eliminated them. But
I eliminated the narrator, this person here. This is what I eliminated, or I tried to eliminate. There's still a little piece that I'm going to get rid of right now because it's very annoying. So if I drag here to.
Oh, I see.
Right. So let me go ahead and just cut her out entirely. Boom. That should resolve that. So let's take a look. She's still there just a little bit, but that's not a big one. Okay. All right. So does that make sense? Kind of?
Yeah, you spread it out now. I didn't see it spread out, I guess.
How you can still see her on the timeline? Because that's where I like to.
Yeah, that was something that was bothering me as well when I was preparing for this lesson. I'm not sure why I keep seeing her, even though technically we have removed her. So again, trust the preview screen, this white screen, over the over that. So
okay, that was confusing me too.
Right. Delete. There we go. I got rid of it.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Anyone else have any other questions?
John, a question on the stock media like you would use if you subscribe to that. Can you only use that in the videos you make on WeVideo, or can you use like some of the stock images on, like, say, your website? That's not a video.
I believe you can only use it on WeVideo, but if you wanted to use it on your website, all you would have to do is create a WeVideo project, export it, and then there you have it. That's how I would do it. But there's no direct way. Like, you would have to take, like, let's say you wanted fireworks, you would actually have to put the fireworks on your timeline, hit finish, and then even now it's telling me, hey, this is premium content. You're gonna have to upgrade your plan to do that. So that's really the only way. Usually when it comes to template libraries like WeVideo, they're trying to keep you within their program, in their bubble, and you'll just have to use their program, export out, and take it from there.
So if you don't have the premium plan, what do you use personally?
The Envato, that's what I use. So, and Envato, or you can go on Google, just do Google searches, and try and find photos that way.
Oh, I'm sorry, I meant for video editing.
Oh, for video editing, what program I personally use?
Correct.
Oh, me personally, my preference is Adobe Premiere, but I use it personally because that's how I learned video editing. I've been using Adobe Premiere for years, and they keep adding features to it. And it does some nice things that you can't do in WeVideo. But for the purposes of teaching basic video editing, I would go for WeVideo or some other program. Premiere kind of gets in the weeds a little bit too much. That's my preference. All right. Well, I know we're.
I have one question. If you wanted to add narration to that video that you have.
Mm-hmm. There's in WeVideo, they have in the paid features where you hit the record button and it will automatically start recording. So you have your narration. To avoid paying even more money, my recommendation is just record it on your camera, your dialogue, and then import your audio into your project. Kind of like if you're importing a song like we did in the last lesson.
All right.
Yeah. Good question. Anything else? I love it. Keep asking me. You're not bothering me. I'd rather answer them now than have to field 100 emails. All right. Well, again, I really appreciate everyone coming back. I'm very impressed with the turnout. Who here was not here for lesson 1? Anyone here who was not here for lesson 1?
Me, I didn't get the message.
It's on YouTube. So if you go to the Diocese of Venice YouTube channel, the latest video that was uploaded is lesson 1, and you can use that as a reference. This video will come up as well, and you can watch it from there. So, all right. Any other questions? Well, the last thing I want to show you, and this is from lesson 1. So let's say our video is done. I know it isn't. We'd still have to eliminate all the narration. Hit finish, and then this is where you'll have your options. And this is where WeVideo is getting you on trying to pay. Like right now, I'm paying the $9.99 per month version, and if I wanted true full HD, I'd still have to pay more, but I'm not going to do that. And honestly, 1280 by 720 for most projects is just fine. And then you hit the export button, and you take it from there. You can also choose your thumbnail too. Let's say I have one of these two kids using the microscope. I hit export, and then it will take a little while for your video to finish. And what WeVideo will do, will send you an email to download your footage.